This is the book of First Peter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. First and foremost, before I begin, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahushua Ba'ashim, Rakakadash, the bonds to the apostles, the bonds to the elders, a great millstone, rule well, and taught us his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there as preach his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. Tabernacle David, hopeful elect, and speckled bird. I want to say shalom. Now this today's lesson is pretty much inspired by none other by my art. And me and a couple brothers was talking about making a couple pictures for the body. We was talking about for me to make like a comic book style art, and a brother had sent me a Israelite that draws comic books. His name is Ryan Benjamin. Phenomenal artist. And so phenomenal, man, phenomenal the work that he puts out. But getting on track, today's lesson is about getting the basics, because whether it's art or basketball, whatever, something that you want to get good at, you get to the basics. You want to be good at something, you got to get the basic down first. And that's what these so-called Christians do not have. They don't even have the basics down. They may know a little something here and there. Some may even know that the MOTB is the Karagba. Some may know that, but they don't have the basic down. So the water y'all Bashim El Shah, for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, for giving us real teachers to teach us and to give us basics. The word speaks about getting to the basics. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it again. 1 Peter 2 and verse 2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. You got to desire the sincere milk. All right, you got to become a newborn babe. All right, and so me, kind of going back to traditional art, trying to do a little more traditional art. I realized, hey, I got to get the basic down. Same with this word. Hey, you want knowledge? Get the basics down, and then you can start chewing on the meat, as I'll get in next scripture, Lord willing, Hebrews 5 and 12. Because that's what I found out when I started drawing again. Because you don't get to this level, and these are some of my favorite pictures that I've done, drawings I have done. You don't get to this level. This is not trying to put myself on a pedestal. You don't get to this level by you just go in and just draw. No, you gotta put in effort, man. You gotta learn how to draw. You gotta learn anatomy to a certain extent. You gotta learn how the clothes fold in. Matter of fact, when I first started drawing digitally, I actually put it down for a couple months. I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Why? Because I didn't have no foundation. And when you come into this truth, you get a foundation. You have apostles and elders and brothers on down guiding you how to be a real man in this walk, not to make any excuses. You keep on pushing through. So me and when I first started learning how to do digital art, it was way different from traditional art. But soon it became, as you doing anything, you start getting the basics down. You start looking up videos. You start watching teachers. Matter of fact, I got to get that scripture. All right, because the Lord has given us teachers to guide us, to give us the basics, to give us the milk, and to give us the meat. So a college course, whatever, art course or whatever, you start with the basics. and then you're able to tackle the meat. Then you're able to create something great, something that looks nice, but you got to get the basics down first. And going back to the so-called Christians, they don't have the basics down. They don't know that the Lord is a so-called black man. They don't know that the law, statutes, commandments are still in effect, that you're supposed to keep them to the best of your ability. Just the basics like that. Breaking down the scripture, precept upon precept. Precept upon precept. But let me get this right here. This is Isaiah 30 and verse 20. And though the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teacher. You see that? And Lord has given us teachers, just like, in the world. Hey, you want to be a good artist? Well, there's YouTube, there's Skillshare. You watch the videos, you start practicing, you start, drawing more and more, and then you look up, hey, you're able to draw your ass off. Well, hey, the Lord gives us teachers. You start listening to them. They start bringing out the precepts. They show with their works and their actions how to conduct themselves as true men of the Lord, and you pretty much walk in that same walk. You emulate that. And so when the brothers on under you look at you, you're a reflection of the elders, Matter of fact, verse 21, and thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. You see that? If the Lord is dealing with you, first and foremost, you got to be Israelite, which so-called Christians don't understand that, all right? And breaking down the scriptures wrong. But first and foremost, you got to be Israelite. You got to be called. As you read in Jeremiah 1 and 4 on down, hey, you got to be called. You can't just wake up one day and, oh, I'm a pastor. I'm going to preach this word. No, you got to be called to preach this word. All right? You got to be called. Thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left. You see that? Because when we heard this word, start listening to the true men of the Lord, apostles and elders on down, like, oh, this is truth. Because back then, hey, you may have been calling on another name. And so then the Lord corrected you by showing you the real teachers, because in those Christian churches, you don't learn anything. You don't learn no basics. You don't retain knowledge. You have no foundation. Matter of fact, this is Isaiah 28 in verse 9. They don't teach you in this. Whom shall he teach knowledge? Whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Then are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Hey, you, once again, as the first scripture that I gave you, hey, you got to become a newborn baby when you get this word. You can't think that you know everything. Hey, I had that spirit on me. Oh, I know the word. Start hearing the word being preached. Oh, cut me into pieces. I don't know the word. I'm glad it did. All right. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's how you preach the gospel. That's how you preach the word. But, in these so-called Christian churches, they don't have a foundation like that. They think, oh, I got a college degree in theology. I'm called to preach this word. No, the Lord ain't dealing with you. All right, the Lord set up men that didn't go to your seminary schools to confound you. Check that, man. Check that. Matter of fact, this is Isaiah 34 and 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai. Once again, hey, these are just some of the basic scriptures that I didn't even know before coming into the truth. We didn't know before coming into the truth. But now we're reading them. And the basic, just the basic scriptures are still fired, still to this day. That's how they set up. Right? They have power in them. The whole book has power in them. So once you get down to basics, that's when you're able to chew on the meat, able to give our people true knowledge, understanding some of the secrets that the Lord has given unto the man of the Lord. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall one her make. For my mouth it had commanded it, and his spirit it had gathered it. All right, seek ye out of the book and read. You know, these prophecies, the words that Yahweh Shem Shah has given us, it's not going to fail. I got to get this. This is Romans 10 and verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of power, but not according to knowledge. You see that? All right, they have a zeal for the Lord. And you may have a zeal to draw, and you might draw something, but it's not going to come out the way that you wanted to come out. Why? Because you didn't practice. You didn't put in that work. You know, there's some teachers online, and you didn't listen to those teachers. You know, you drew something, but it's not it's not up to par of how it should be. You know, you can be an artist for years and not have down the foundations, and it's going to show in your work. All right, but when you come into this walk, when you come into this truth, you get a foundation. All right, you have a standard to live by, and you didn't have that in Christianity in the world. You know, check this. For they being ignorant of power's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness. You see that? They don't know Yahweh Shem Shah, so they establish their own righteousness. So that's why you see all that folly in these Christian churches. They have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of power. You see that? And the Lord set up true men of the Lord to give you that wisdom. But hey, they don't want to hear it. All right? This is verse 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah shall be saved. And they don't have the true name of the Lord. Hey, his name is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it. So when Jacob's trouble pop off, that time of trouble comes, and they're calling on the name of baby Jesus, hey, nothing's gonna happen for them, man. All right. Let's see. This is Salakia. This is verse 14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? How shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? How shall they hear without a preacher? As we'll read, how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. You see that? That's why it's beautiful to be in this walk. The Lord, it's a privilege for the Lord to call upon you to preach his word, to give you that knowledge, man. All right? To shine a light on these people's eyes. Hey, you an Israelite. You God's chosen people. You above everybody else. Hey, that's beautiful. You know? That's beautiful. So don't take this thing lightly. You know, hey, you have something to stand upon. You have a foundation. You know, when all hell breaks loose, you know who to call upon. You know that the Lord's going to be there for you. All right? But check this, verse 16. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Elijah said, Lord, who have believed our report? You see, because the majority of people, they don't want to get their foundation. They just want to pick up the pencil and go. You know, just giving that analogy. You know, and you can't do that. Lord set up teachers, and you got teachers in the world. You got teachers in this truth to teach you how to actually get it right. All right. So then, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of power. So that's why it's imperative to go out there to highways and byways, preach his word, do your sit downs. Matter of fact, earlier today, they took down my video so quick, man. They took it down so quick. But hey, just gotta keep on pushing the word. Just gotta keep on pushing the word. So I'm gonna upload this video on my backup channel, and hey, you know, whoever's meant to see it is meant to see it. You know, hey, we still gonna push the word over here. I'm gonna get this right here. This is Hebrews 5:12. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of power, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Salakia. All right, because hey, you're supposed to be a teacher. You're supposed to be teaching your people, but you have to revert back into a little baby. All right, in the mindset, and you got to start drinking that milk. And then as you grow more and more into this truth, you're able to chew on the meat and give our people the meat. All right, break it down in layman's terms. You know, simplify it for those that need to be simplified. You know, hey, it's all in balance. But you know, you're able to give our people the wisdom, break down the word right. You know, hey, there's so much wisdom in this word that hey, it would just blow the average person's mind, because they don't have this foundation that we have. You know. So once again, that's why it's imperative. Hey, when you first come into this thing, you become a newborn baby, and then you grow. All right. For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he's a babe. You see that? Because you either young in the truth, or you have no foundation. You just breaking down things wrong. So you have to grow more and more. But strong meat belonging to them that are full age. You see that? All right. Because you no matter what age you are, man. All right. You can be a young man, you be an old man. All right, when you come into this truth, you're an Israelite. When you come into this truth, you got to revert back into a little baby, and then you come into that full age, and wisdom starts pouring out your mouth. All right, not all that folly and forward things, man. And it will show in your conduct in your everyday to day life as well. You know, you're not all talk. You're about your father's business. You know, even those by reason of use their senses excess to discern both good and evil, and the Lord will also give you more talents to be able to discern things as well. You know, let's see. There may be some more that I want to get. Give me 1 second. I may close it right there. I may actually, let me get this. Isaiah 29 and verse 9, going back to these so-called Christian churches. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They are staggered, but not with strong drink. All right, they're drunken by the philosophies of Babylon the Great. And once upon a time, hey, all of us were. All right, but we put off that old man. We put off them childish ways. All right, but we can see how deranged and crazy and bugged out these people are. You know, for the Lord have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep. You see, they're in the spirit of deep sleep, slumber, the walking dead, literally, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered. You see, so that's why they have no foundation. They're not grounded in the word. They're not able to break down the word. They don't have the basics down. You know, once again, going back to my drawing, you know, you see the basics. Now, you may not be able to see the little circles and all that stuff, you know, if you've seen like an art book or something, you know, you draw like the little circles and stuff, you know. Hey, they don't have that in Christianity. They don't even have the basics now, you know. This would be considered the, using as an analogy, the strong meat, the meat, you know. But to get to that point, you got to get the basics down, man. Also got another one right here, you know, because I have a lot of drawings that I want to get to in such a short amount of time, But hey, it's all in it. It's all in the Lord's will that I get to them. Hey, if I don't, hey, it's all good. But to get faster, to get it to the brothers, put in the videos, hey, I realize, hey, I got to get better at the basics so I can get faster and faster. It comes to this truth. You got to get the basic down. And then you look up one day, hey, you got all this knowledge. You're able to call out these precepts like that. They don't have that in a Christian church in the world out here. Matter of fact, you got a dude down here that goes up to the waterfront, and he only comes out in the summertime and no Bible, just bugged out. They're not able to do what we do. They don't have the foundation. They don't have the breakdown of the word that we have, man. They bugged out. All right. Let's see. Verse 11, and the vision of all has become unto you as the words of the book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. You see that? They're not able to break it down. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee, and said, I am not learned. You see that? You're not learned. You have no foundation. So you just picking up the pencil and just drawing. And see if you can just draw. You just and you're gonna find out. One arm is gonna be bigger than the other. One leg is gonna be bigger than the other. That's a Christian church, man. They just winging it. They have no foundation. Verse 13, wherefore the Lord Yahweh Shemel, for as much as his people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men. You see that? So that's why, Thwada Yahweh Shemel for sending up real pastors, real teachers to feed us with real knowledge and understanding. All right? Because these people in the world, in the Christian churches, they're giving you folly. They're not showing you the ways to please Yahweh Shemel Shai. This is Ezekiel 22 in verse 23. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai came unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rain upon in the day of indignation. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion, ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure of the precious things. They have made her widows in the midst thereof. You see that? The Lord is describing your false prophets and your preachers today. Why? Because they're about their money. They're in the Babylonian ways. They're keeping Yahweh Shemel Shai's people away from him. But that's ultimately in the Lord's movie. So Thwada Yahweh Shemel Shai, if he's giving you the eyes to see and the spirit to discern who's speaking righteousness and who is not. Her priest has violated my law and have profaned my holy things. You see that? Speaking that the law is done away with. And more things. Y'all seen what these bugged out Israelite camps are speaking. But the holy and profane, neither have they shown difference between the unclean and the clean. You see that? Or you can eat whatever you want to eat. Just pray over it in the name of baby Jesus and you good. No, that's not how it works. I've hid their eyes from my Sabbath. Hey, they're not preaching about keeping the Sabbath to the best of your ability in this wicked ass kingdom. Hey, they saying the Sabbath's done away with, or the Sabbath is every Sunday. And I have profaned among them. Her princes in the midst thereof are like wolves, ravaging the prey, to shed blood and destroy souls to this honest gain. You see that? To get dishonest gain. You know, you look at these pastors with high names, even those that don't even have that recognition. They still making bank with their 501c3. You know, but all that's going to come to a stop. You know, you got them pastors. Hey, you got to take the waters, come into our building and worship. You know how they be. You know, and we're speaking against that. Matter of fact, the Lord's not in them churches. Acts 7 and 48. You know, yeah, go ahead, read that on down. Lord's not in those churches. All right. Verse 28, and our prophets have dubbed them with untempered mortar, seeing vanity, dividing lies unto them, saying, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shah, when the Lord have not spoken. You see that? Show me how bugged out these people are, man. Oh, the Lord said this. The Lord gave me this to prophesy, and the Lord didn't give you that. You just saying that the Lord gave you. The Lord didn't give you that, man. So I'm gonna end it right there. You know, Lord willing, it's edifying. You know, once again, hey, to be good at anything, you got to get the foundation first, and then build upon that. You know, something like this, Lord willing, is going to end up something like this. You know, that's how it's supposed to work out. If you get the foundation, you get the basics down first. You know, but once again, the people out here in the world do not have the basics down, the foundation. You know, so Lord willing, it's edifying. We give all praises going on to Yahweh Bashim Yosah Bashim Rakar Gadash. Wow.